All right, I'm just going to take you for a quick walkthrough in the shop. There's a lot to know. When you guys get here, I'll make sure you know it. All right, but I'll give you just an overview now. There's a lot of stuff stored everywhere. All right, there's glasses in there, safety glasses, grinder for sharpening chisels, battery-operated drills, chargers. The kids made these bookcases last year just to store things like sandpaper, bandsaw blades, hinges, things like that we use a lot. We try to make whatever we can make, so they made these out of the lumber that we had here. Scroll saw. We got a couple of lathes for making round things like bowls, fence posts, whatever you want to make. A nice brand new drill press with a laser guide, so you know exactly where you're going to hit. Bandsaw for cutting irregular shapes. Sanding machine. You notice everything's hooked up to these pipes. All right, the pipes are to pull the sawdust and other debris away from you as you're using the machine. It's kind of a mess back here, but there's our brand new machine that pulls all that out. All right, it sucks it in, puts it in the drums down there so it's not bouncing all over the shop. There's 3 table saws here. Only one of them is being used as a table saw. This one's set up with a double blade, so it cuts just 1/4-inch slots for the bottom of boxes or panel doors. This one will have a 3/4 blade in it for boxes and drawers. Here's our new one. That's called a saw stop. Right, the big deal on this one is it's got a microprocessor, a crash bar under the blade down there. You can barely see that aluminum sticker. That's spring loaded. It'll fly into the blade and stop it like in a millisecond before it can even cut you. All right, it's triggered by the continuity between your skin and that metal blade. I'll put a video up of this thing in action on high-speed film. It's kind of incredible how it works. You know, that anything could work that quickly. There's still danger involved with this, like every other power tool, but it does make it a little bit safer. There's no need for that to be on. We got plenty of lumber. I really didn't order any more because this is just what we had left from last year. All right, we normally go through about twice what's sitting here now. Some of you guys that are out doing your trees, this is the red oak that some of you saw. All right, white oak would be the same, but it wouldn't have that red tinge to it. This is a piece of white pine right there. You can tell by the smell it's lighter. It's less dense. There's a piece of black walnut. I mean, generally they get their names from their appearance. All right, there's a lighter version of this that's just called walnut. And then it comes in different dimensions. What do we got? This is 4/4 red oak, 5/4 red oak. Down the bottom, I think, is 8/4 red oak. I'll explain the whole dimensional system when you get here. All right, this one's a radial arm saw. It's great for throwing a big board up here. You know, just roughly cut it down to size. It's also hooked up to dust collection. If you were trying for a finer cut, smaller board perhaps, this is a compound miter saw, a sliding compound miter saw. All right, it's also hooked up. It's actually hooked up to the machine itself, and then anything that blows past the machine so it's not throwing sawdust all over the shop. I got a router for making shapes in the edge of wood. It's just a blade that spins. And then there's a series of bits for making all kinds of different things. What else do we got? This is a drill press that's really old. All it does is make these little plugs that we use to plug up screw holes when we make something. All right, I've got all this set up so there's no way you can get your hand wrapped up in that. We use a lot of air tools, so there's the compressor underneath the table with the hose. Generally the air tools are in this cabinet here. This is another one of the bookcases they made. This one they just put doors on it to keep some of the sawdust out. Let's see. Here's the one nail gun we use a lot. It's actually a brad gun. It shoots small nails. But we've got pretty much everything you need. I mean, there's drills, router, Dremel, a couple belt sanders. There's a lot of stuff I got put away yet that I got to bring back out. Circular saw, iron. We actually end up using this to take dents out of wood. Power stapler, a bigger nail gun. And most of the hand tools are over here in these cabinets that the kids made years ago. I mean, like 13 years ago. They're a little banged up, but they do the job. You know, chisels, pliers, drill bits, framing squares, hammers, all that kind of good stuff. Files, coping saws. The clamps are usually all right over here. There's a bunch of different kinds. There's some more over on the other side that have to get put back here. Then in the middle is generally where you'll be working. All right, there's 6 tables here. You know, you get like 3 people to a table. I imagine when we come back, it's going to be limited where, you know, it's more likely going to be 1 person at each table. I'm not sure. I have no idea what's going on. But most of the things you need they're out for you. You don't have to go hunting for anything. A box of pencils. This is all one tool system called Craig that's in there. What else do we got? These are like bits that go in the electric drills for different purposes. And then the fabulous desk that one of my kids made me a few years ago. And so we try to make everything we can. It just, you know, you can make it the way you want it. Gives us something to do, something to practice on. All right, so hopefully we're all going to end up here. But for now, just carry on with whatever assignments I give you, you know, that you can do at home. I'll see what else I can come up with. All right, that's about it for now.